All right, this video is more about expat life in Dubai, especially if you are maybe let's say Indian or Asian. Not sure about the Gora community, whites, but I can definitely say across the board, most of the expats will be able to relate to this video. And how did this video idea come across? Was had a conversation with a friend who I've known in UAE for, I think, close to 30 years, man. 30 years. Can you imagine? You feel old, when you say 30 years. Oh, goodness. Anyway, I was talking to this guy, and what happened was um, it seems that his company that he was working for years and years, he worked with this company for many years, and unfortunately, it had to shut down its operations, shut down everything, and it was not like a, a bad experience or the owner cheated him or the company didn't pay. They knew that this company was a kind of a sinking ship, but they didn't expect it to close down. But they paid all their salaries, they paid everything. The management had a meeting and informed them that they're shutting down total operations in another, 2 to 3 months. Any one of you who is looking out for other jobs and all that will be more than happy to give you letter of recommendation, references, or whatever. So they just wanted everything to go smoothly, and they said those of you who are planning to leave, just don't leave suddenly, so that we can finish the smooth transition. And on the final days before everything shut down, they gave everyone as a thank you a bonus and all that. So good company, good management, good owners, no bad memories. So this guy, he called me up. Normally, people only when they go through a new phase in their life do they contact me. It's either if people need something from me or they're going through this new phase. So he didn't need anything from me. He's well off. He has enough money to retire for one lifetime at least. So I asked him. The first question I asked him is, "So what are you planning to do next? Now that it's over. This job is over." Because he's nearly as old as me, in his 50s, and so I asked him, "Are you going for another job?" Or so he said, "No. At this age, I'm not going to apply for another job and go begging with a CV. Oh, this is tell me something about yourself." So, why should you work for this company? And he said, "I'm too old for that shit, man." He said, "I'm not going to go through that nonsense again." And he also, he is very grounded. He said, the market has changed a lot today. You have a lot of youngsters in the market. You have AI, you have all these new technologies. I'm one of the old school guys. So if they would ask me, I would say I'm not proficient in all this. In fact, even social media, I hardly get time to maintain it. I'm just looking at a very senior managerial, like, C-level role for my experience. So, because he knew that that would be very hard to get, because if, especially expats, if they are in the Middle East and they have a senior level position and they are in their 50s, they will hold on to that with their dear life, because they know if they lose this, they're not going to get anything like it, unless, of course, they have a very big personal brand or name in the market. So he said, I'm just going to start my own business, just start something small in the line of work that I'm doing. I'll offer other services like consulting, running operations, supervising, whatever. So, we spoke about all these things. And but then it came down to the part where he was just telling me about how life is in UAE. And this was a part I thought would be worth sharing with you. Um, right off the bat, he said, life in UAE is this beautiful dream for at least for an Asian, for an Indian, when you come to Dubai the first time, it's like, oh, these big tall buildings, oh, these amazing roads, oh, look at everything moving so fast. And then obviously, the heat, the the hot climate of Dubai hits you, and whew, it's so hot here. And then when you go to a shopping mall, oh, the AC, it's so cool. And then you get to see all these global brands and Burberry and what is that? Restaurant like Fuddruckers, or I don't know if Fuddruckers is still there. TGIF and Lebanese joints, Arabic food, and um, all these fashion designer brands. And you go to these malls, and there are so many people from so many walks of life, and everyone is rich, and they are dressed up so well. Outside the mall, you can see Rolls Royce and Lamborghinis and Ferraris and concept cars. So he also gave, when you come first, obviously 30 years ago, all this was not there, but still that wow factor was there because Dubai was really pushing itself to be modern. And today it's more like a Las Vegas. He said, you you become part of this wonderful illusion. It's like a dream. It's like a virtual reality world. It's like a wow. Everywhere you go, it's like, oh, Rolex, oh, Rolls Royce, oh, hot girls, oh, you know, uh, designer brands, or you can eat in a food court and get so much of variety. And then obviously you want to live there. You don't want to leave. You want to live. You want to enjoy all the rich perks. You start aiming big. You know, if this guy can have an expensive car, why can't I? If this guy is working in this multinational company, why can't I? He's wearing a nice suit and all that. And you want all this. You definitely want. It's a good life. I mean, there are companies that, big companies, especially for Goras or for Emiratis, or if it's a government run, um, and especially if it's a very contemporary one, they will give you housing benefits, swimming pool. You get a very expensive community of people, foreigners, and people who literally spend 50, 60,000 dirhams, around 10, 20,000 US dollars minimum per month, just on maintaining their lifestyle. You see Porsche, you see expensive cars, you get a gated community, then you get a swimming pool where you can swim there, and it's the life. And then if you want to go to have food or lunch, you'll not go to a small joint. You'll go to a, like, even these outlets which serve you sandwiches, the deli or the coffee. It's like Amazon. It's like Starbucks priced. You hold that coffee and sit there with a suit, and everyone's looking at you, and sophisticated life. So you want to experience that. I wanted to experience that, and you get it. And once you get it, now once you get the taste of the expensive life, the the nice wafer, the biscuits with the coffee, which is like a thick cappuccino, and you're wearing a suit, and the waiter is, treating you like a god, and you have these expensive cars outside, and they get these corporate dressed men with their power suits, and these beautiful women, elegantly dressed, rich with their, you know, high heels, walking, and you can smell the perfume, and you want that, man. It's a high that you get because when you go back home, it's a normal life. But when you go outside here, it's like, wow. And very soon you start believing that this is normal. Very soon you start accepting that this is what you deserve. You deserve this. Of course you do. You want a good life. And then you decide that I want this life. So I'm going to work hard. I'll slog it out, and I will enjoy this. And very soon, when you start working hard in your company and you get this, the most, I would say, the biggest curse that you can ever get which I called the monthly salary. It's an addiction. It's an addiction because you work your ass off to get that amount of money in the bank. And when you get that money in the bank, it's like, oh yes, I have the money again. Pay your electricity, water bills, you pay your car, you took it on loan, you pay your personal loan, you pay your house rent, whatever, all the expenses go. And then you have that chunk of money which, I'll put some as savings. I'll not be stupid, for a rainy day. But then you have this money, oh, I can spend this. And you don't want to be too much of a miser. So you go buy the best perfumes, you go to the best barber shops, beauty parlors, whatever. You go to a nice movie, you go to a nice pub or a bar, you meet exciting people, you maybe book a holiday to enjoy yourself. Or you might even do, let's say, a training program, go to a gym, nice, sexy bodies and people from all over the world. Or you know, go to learn a new skill. Um, you go, maybe you hire a coach for physical fitness, marathon running, CrossFit, cycling, swimming. There are so many options here. Or you can enhance your hobby, painting, or let's say doing some creative workshops to enhance your brand. Or life is good, so you want to do that. So every month you slog your ass, get your salary, and enjoy the bucks. Nothing wrong with that. And then slowly it gets to you where, forget you believe in yourself. This is me. This is my life. This is my brand. This is who I am. And obviously, your success climbs. You work harder. You work harder. You put in more, get more money, climb the next tire. So the goal is, if I earn more, if I prove myself to the management, I earn more, I get more. I can live a good life. And then slowly you start building your retirement castle, the house where you want to retire, the funds where if you lose your job, you know, I don't have to beg anyone. And obviously, if you're the type who wants to settle down, you get a maybe live-in partner. Now you can have that in UAE, or you get a girlfriend, or you get a wife. Enjoy. If you get a girlfriend, it's all sex and fun, and no responsibilities there. If in case you get married, well, you get a new life partner whom you start planning even more things. So either or, get a girlfriend, you can enjoy every few weeks or months or change. It's like trying a new restaurant, try a new product, try a new service, upgrade your phone. It's like that. And then life goes on. You just don't realize how fast time flies. And before you know it, 1 year has gone, 2 years have gone, 5 years have gone, 10 years have gone. And you're like, fucking hell, man, where did time go by? But then after you reach a particular point where then you begin to think like, fuck, man, 10 years have gone by. What's next here? Seriously, you'll reach a point where you'll really ask yourself, okay, what's next? Means you have enjoyed all the pleasures so much. Now it's become like a routine. Now that there's no longer that high. It's like for the first time when you sit in business class or the first time you sit in first class, it's like a wow, in an airplane. Or the first time you visit Europe, or the first time you go to Japan or USA or a foreign country, it's like wow. But when you do it very often, it kind of loses the wow factor. Like the first time you get yourself the dream car, the Porsche, or first time you get a hot girl, really hot girl, or you go to a restaurant of your dreams, a hotel, or you buy, let's say, an iMac or an iPhone or whatever, can be anything. After days and weeks and months of using it, it becomes a normal thing. It no longer becomes like, wow, it's just a car, just a vehicle, just a phone. So then you say, okay, I got this dopamine high. I collected so many things, so many shoes, so many ties, so many clothes, so many designer wears. I go to the gym, I meet these guys, And now I'm used to the foreigners. I'm used to the swimming pool. I'm used to this gated community. What's next? Yeah. What's next for me? And that is where you try to find a meaning and purpose. But then as you get older, it keeps ringing in your head. What's next? Where am I going? How long will this honeymoon phase last? Okay, honeymoon phase over, but it's still a good time. It's still much better than back home in India or back home in wherever you came from, because UAE is not your home. And like I told you, if you had a girlfriend, well, enjoy every month and all that. But then obviously at some point you realize, man, I need a companion. Yeah, if one day I fall sick, who's there to look after? A girlfriend is there, yeah, but there's nothing that binds us together. So you want a meaningful relationship, a life partner. Okay, maybe you'll get married, maybe. Maybe you'll have a children, one child or two children, whatever. And then you start thinking about your wife, you start thinking about your children, you become this responsible man, you change your ways. You used to go out late nights, sit in a bar and pub or nightclub or watch a movie till 3, 4, or go for a drive or eat a Burger King late night somewhere. Now you need to come home on time. Children are there. They have to go to school. You have to think about their school fees. You have to think about their future. You have to think about their college. You keep thinking, oh, my child is growing up so fast. And then you realize I'm becoming old. And how you realize you're becoming old is when you get up in the morning and your back is paining slightly. Oh, your knees. Oh, the joints. You notice that stomach coming out a little bit more. Things are not what it used to be before. You had a spring in your sprint and all that. But now you are more relaxed. Before you are overly ambitious, fire, drive, and get this girl, sleep with 10 girls, and have this thing work 20 hours, 24 hours, make big money, prove it to the boss, become this amazing alpha male James Bond kind of a thing. But now you start thinking, this James, I don't know, who the fuck cares here? Who wants to brag on social media? Fuck all that. You start thinking of what really means to you. Stuff you don't show off. Maybe you can't show off. Maybe you have an extramarital affair, a young girl, 19, 20, and keep it quiet. Or, you might be studying late night. Don't want anyone to know that you're studying new project management, MBA, PhD, so that you can get a promotion. Your competitors will not be aware of that. Or you're maturely thinking of, okay, I need to focus on my personal brand or business. Obviously, you need to think about where my children will go after they finish their high school, college. They have to settle down. You don't want to take care of them for your entire life. You have to think about either yourself or you and your spouse together. And then that is where it comes down to, okay, you realize, or maybe if you do, all these perks and benefits, which you really forget, is because of this job, is because of this position, is because of this salary. It's only because of this salary and this job and this visa, which is taken care of by the company, that you're able to enjoy all this. And you enjoy all this because you have become like a rat who follows a protocol, who has a routine. Get up in the morning this time, complete everything by this time. Means get ready, then drive to the office by this time, reach office by this time, start work by this time, lunch is this time, then go back to work again, second half of the day, finish work by this time, then go back home this time. And then obviously groceries or picking up the kids or this thing, and reach home, eat food at this time, sleep at this time. You never realized all this became a part of your schedule, so much so that you totally forgot. You become like a zombie, like you know like mechanical device, like routine, routine. Get up, work, come back, sleep, eat and sleep, and keep going round in that, like that hamster wheel, which is, and one fine day, something happens. Job loss, or you get replaced, or maybe your health doesn't stick with you. Maybe your body is not the same, or maybe some emotional drama, or maybe you put your money in a business. You know, you wanted to earn more. Of course, you want to earn more, right? And some tension and problem, or someone cheated you of the money. Something happened. Something. I'm not wishing anything bad to happen. But at some point of your life, some point, it is impossible for life unless you're some rare breed or a rare individual whose life went as per plan, beautifully retired. And there are people like that. By the way, I've spoken to people like that. And I envy them sometimes. Life just goes as per plan. But then if things don't go as per plan, I'm not saying tragedy. Like that friend of mine, his company closed down. Now you need to start on a new journey. So what do you do? Do you go back into the corporate world and hope you get a salary like that? There are people who I know, I'm envious of them, seriously envious. This guy, he always got a job by luck, by reference. And he always got overpaid. He himself told me, I got overpaid like 4 times more than what I deserved. Until, the online training, whatever he was doing, he was conducting all this, the company shut down. But he got an amazing severance package. Amazing. He said, I don't have to work for a single day in my life. I have enough money for 2, 3 generations. I think, just want to retire. He doesn't even feel like working. He doesn't feel the sense, the need to work. I really envy that guy. He can do whatever he wants. And he's not like, doesn't have any bad habits, doesn't have any expensive, lifestyle requirements. So, very happy. Now, if you're like that, so nothing but envy. And many others would envy. Like this friend of mine, he has enough money, not for 4, 5 lifetimes, one lifetime. And he decided, okay, open up a small business because I don't want to go begging for a job. Please, why should you apply, sir? I will work hard. Why should I give you this job? I'm better than others. I have experience. He was like, fuck all that. I'll run my own small little thing, be my own boss, have my own routine, get up when I like, or obviously discipline myself, get up at 6 because they're used to it, drink coffee, go to work, maybe be his own boss or have one employee, market yourself in the market or sell your services or products, whatever you have taken the franchise for, meet customers, shake hands, whatever. And then after you finish work, whole day you work, you are busy, you did something worthwhile, exercise your skill, expertise, experience, come back home. And you maintain that lifestyle that you have. Not too much, not too less. Children settle down, happy, college is over, now they have started to work. You and your spouse just live a happy life. That is if you have a spouse. If you're single, just have maybe a nice beer or go somewhere or enjoy yourself and reflect on life. And you let it go as long as it goes. Provided you don't fuck up your health or you have an accident or someone cheats you of all the money. You focus on what makes you happy. By the way, my espresso, very strong. So that is life in UAE, man. That is life in UAE. Where once upon a time, if you lost your job or you lost, if you lost your job position or your visa, you'd be in trouble. But today, if you have the money, you can still live in UAE. You can still. Times have changed. You can stay in UAE, but it'll cost you. Only thing it'll cost you for a visa, it'll cost you for opening your business or for the basic legal requirements. Maybe you're supposed to keep some amount of money in the bank. And one of the reasons why people prefer that is it'll not be taxed. But the downside is if you're sick, you'll pay a fortune. So people keep themselves healthy. So for that, you need to spend money. You can't just take it for granted. Whether it is getting a personal trainer, whether it is spending your time to keep fit, buying supplements, or ensuring that food is good quality, it costs money. It's not cheap. Have a good lifestyle. Discipline yourself where exercise is concerned, health is concerned. Don't have too much of you know unwanted friends and too much of overall fame or clout on social media. So you keep a low profile. Every day focus on going to work, making money, come back. Provided you can sustain yourself. But if you have enough and more bank balance, no need to worry. So you just work enough to earn enough to maintain that lifestyle. And this goes on until one fine day you realize, ah, can't, can't do this anymore. I want to retire. Hopefully, by the time your kids will be big enough to support you, or you stay with them, or you have a bank balance enough where they will not look at you as a financial burden. Or you can, if you're adventurous, go to some third world country where your currency value is much more, and you can be not live like a king, but at least get treated with respect. And then only thing that remains is memories, and you just want to die a decent death. Like this guy, B.R. Shetty, billionaire, high flying, wanted to be the next Ambani or whatever. But then after he crashed and burned, and though he was sent back to India and he had enough and more legal case, he spent billions still to come back to UAE because he couldn't live without UAE. And now he has vanished off from social media, but I'm pretty sure he maintains a small, happy life, where basic expenses are taken care of and his basic needs are taken, whether it is getting a massage or whether it is having a 24-hour person take care of him, or whether he gets a jacuzzi, or he has enough and more funds stacked in different areas. If you had 1 billion yourself, you wouldn't have much to worry about, right? And if in case you're a typical middle class Indian, Filipino, Sri Lankan, whatever, you'll think of property or stuff back home. You'd maybe want to go back home to your roots, to your country, to your motherland, wherever, and just spend the last few days of your life, maybe just enjoying the air of the country you're from or the people. Obviously, people would have died or moved on, but you have your own house, your own money. You're just happy. And you're just counting your days until you know, well, it's time up for me to go. And that's the end. And that's where sometimes when I see some of my relatives who are now 80, 85, oof, lucky their children are taking care of them, but they're old, what to do. And that's where your chapter ends, story ends. One life, you lived it. That's the life and the story of people, expats in Dubai. And the only thing we are left with, only thing all of us are left with, is memories. Memories of the 70s, the 80s. When I think Al Ghurair Center, Donata, Sindbad Arcade, Dubai, Channel 33, FM 92, Richard Coram. How time flies by. Now we are getting old. School days are gone, college days are gone, everything is gone. Now we are uncle, auntie, we are old. Anyway, just thought of all these things when I spoke to that guy. Only thing we'll be left with is memories. So, dog your ass off, work like a dog, save the money, and one day it's all over. Bye bye. Good, bad, ugly, feel free. Comment down below. These are my thoughts. Love to hear from you. Take care.